Good afternoon. Thank you for seeing me. I've been looking forward to hearing how Jamie is getting on.
Good afternoon. It's great to meet you. Jamie is a lovely student. I've been looking forward to this meeting too. There's quite a bit to talk about.
I hope it's mostly positive news. Jamie seems happy at school, but I've been a little worried about the homework situation lately.
Let's start with the positives because there are many. Academically, Jamie is performing well overall. Reading comprehension and creative writing are genuine strengths.
That's wonderful to hear. Jamie has always loved stories. I read to Jamie every night when younger. Perhaps that helped.
It absolutely helps. Early reading at home has a long-lasting impact. In class, Jamie contributes confidently during discussions and shows real imagination in written work.
I'm really glad to hear that. What about maths? I know Jamie finds it challenging. How is progress going there?
Maths is an area where we're working on building more confidence. The understanding is there. Jamie grasps concepts when we work through them together. But on independent tasks, Jamie can become hesitant.
That's exactly what I see at home too. Jamie will say, "I can't do it," before even trying. How can I support that at home?
The most helpful thing is to encourage the attempt, not the answer. When Jamie says "I can't," try responding with, "Let's see how far we can get." It shifts the focus from getting it right to trying.
That's really practical advice. I'll try that. Does Jamie have a good relationship with the other students? I worry about friendships at this age.
Yes, Jamie has a small but close group of friends in class. I've observed Jamie being kind and inclusive, especially towards students who are new or shy.
That's very reassuring. Kindness matters more to me than anything academic at this age. I'm glad it shows at school too.
It really does show. Now, the homework. You mentioned it at the start. Let me share what I've noticed from my side as well.
Yes, please do. Jamie often leaves homework to the last minute or seems to have forgotten about it entirely.
I've noticed some homework coming in late or incomplete. It's not a huge issue yet, but it is a habit worth addressing now. Consistency with homework builds important study skills for later.
I completely agree. Do you have any suggestions for building a better homework routine? We've tried reward charts, but they only worked for a little while.
Reward charts work well short term. For something more lasting, try linking homework to a consistent time and place. Same desk, same time every afternoon. The routine becomes automatic.
A fixed time and place. That makes sense. We've been doing it whenever, wherever. I'll set up a proper homework station at home.
That would make a real difference. Even just a clear desk with no distractions, no screens nearby, helps the brain associate that space with focused work.
No screens at home. That's the hardest part. But I'll be firmer about it. Now, what about behavior in class? Any concerns there?
Nothing to worry about at all. Jamie is respectful and follows instructions well. Occasionally gets distracted during longer activities, but that's very typical for this age group.
Good to know. What are the main areas Jamie should focus on to do even better this term?
3 things: building maths confidence through daily practice, submitting homework on time, and stretching written work by adding more detail and structure.
Those are very clear targets. Are there any specific resources you'd recommend for maths practice at home?
There are some excellent free online platforms. Khan Academy is great for this age. Even 15 minutes a day makes a noticeable difference over a term.
15 minutes a day is manageable. I'll set it up tonight. Are there any worries about Jamie's overall well-being at school?
No real concerns. Jamie seems happy and settled. There was a brief period earlier in the term where Jamie seemed a bit quiet, but that passed within a week or two.
Yes, we had some changes at home around that time. I appreciate you noticing and not making a big deal of it while it was passing.
Of course. I always keep an eye on shifts in students' moods without making them feel watched. If anything ever concerns you at home, please don't hesitate to email me.
That means a lot. Communication between home and school makes such a difference. How often do you suggest we stay in touch?
A brief check-in once a month is ideal for most families. For homework specifically, if you notice more than 2 consecutive missed nights, drop me a message sooner.
That's a sensible approach. I don't want to over-email, but I also don't want to miss things. Once a month feels right.
Exactly. And the end-of-term report in 6 weeks will give you a more formal picture of where Jamie stands overall.
I'll look forward to that. Before I go, is there anything I should know about upcoming class projects or events that Jamie will be involved in?
Yes. We have a class presentation in 3 weeks. Each student will give a short talk on a topic of their choice. Practicing at home would really help build confidence.
A presentation. Yeah, Jamie will need some encouragement for that. We'll practice in front of the family. Any tips for supporting that at home?
Let Jamie choose the topic. That ownership helps. Then listen as an audience, not as a judge. Clap and ask questions at the end, just like a real audience would.
Be a real audience. Yeah, I love that framing. We'll make it feel like a proper performance. I think Jamie will enjoy that, actually.
Many children find presentations scary in theory, but genuinely satisfying once they do them. The confidence boost after a successful talk is very noticeable in class.
That's a good reminder. I'll frame it as an opportunity, not a pressure. Is there anything else you wanted to cover before we wrap up?
Just to summarize, Jamie is doing well overall, especially in literacy. Key focus areas: maths confidence, homework routine, and the upcoming presentation. You've clearly been very involved, and it shows.
Thank you. That's a really balanced and helpful summary. I feel much clearer about how to support Jamie going forward.
That's exactly the goal of these meetings. It's a team effort between home and school, and you're clearly a very engaged parent.
I try my best. Jamie means the world to me. Thank you for being so thoughtful and thorough. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming in. Not all parents take the time, and it really does make a difference. Have a lovely evening.
You too. Goodbye, and thank you again.
One last thing. Is there anything I can do differently as a teacher to better support Jamie?
Actually, yes. When Jamie brings home a low score, a short note explaining what went wrong would really help me support the revision at home.
That's excellent feedback. I'll make sure to add a brief note to any graded work going forward. It costs me very little effort, but clearly makes a big difference at home.
Thank you for being open to that. I wasn't sure if it was appropriate to bring up.
Always appropriate. You're Jamie's biggest advocate. Feedback between us makes us both better. That's what a real partnership looks like.
I appreciate that perspective. Is there a parent newsletter or communication channel I should be subscribed to?
Yes. We send a weekly school newsletter every Friday. If you haven't been receiving it, give the office your email address and they'll add you to the list.
I'll stop by the office on my way out. I'd love to stay more connected with what's happening at school.
Perfect. The office is just down the hall on the left. They're very helpful. They can also give you a copy of the school calendar for the rest of the term.
A full-term calendar, that would be very useful for planning. Thank you for that tip.
You're very welcome. I'm looking forward to our next meeting, hopefully with an even stronger report to share.
Me too. I'll keep you updated on Jamie's homework routine and the presentation practice.
That would be wonderful. Have a lovely evening.